Welcome back, guys. So today we're taking a look at another Hyperkin product, the Specialist Premium Controller for the TurboGrafx-16. But as you see, I do have a PC Engine Core graphics over here. It doesn't immediately tell you on the front of the box that it can be used with the PC Engine, but the back of the box, it sure does. It comes with an adapter to be able to use this on either the PC Engine or the TurboGrafx. So this thing is $30. Now, I don't know about that price point. We'll talk about it a little bit in a moment here, but for a third-party controller for the PC Engine or TurboGrafx, it's a little much, especially when you can find original controllers in good shape for around that price point or cheaper. TurboGrafx controllers, they do tend to go a little higher than PC Engine controllers, but there are cables sold out there that do the same thing, so you could swap them around. TurboGrafx on the PC Engine on the TurboGrafx. You can get stuff like this for fairly reasonable price from like console5.com. But that's beside the point. We got to take a look at this thing, test it out, tear it down as well, right? So here's the controller. It doesn't look too bad. Compared to some of their previous controllers, this little sticker that's on the front, this is actually not too bad. Very nice finish to it. Doesn't seem like it's going to rub off or fall off over time. Select and run button. We do have our turbo sliders. So there's that, the 1 and 2 button, and the little ass D-pad, very similar to the original controller. We do have some butt cheeks on the back. Hyperkin loves to put the butt cheeks on the back. It's a comfort thing. I get it. 10-foot cable. So we're also going to test this thing out with the Turbo Tap. I'm not sure what the heck this is called for the Japanese version, but we have to make sure this controller works off of this as well. So we will test it with that in a moment. But taking a look, tearing this thing down, the internals don't look too bad. Once we get this thing open, it's fairly similar to an original board. There's a few things that are a little suspect, the plastic welding on the turbo sliders and stuff like that. But hey, it works, or as long as it works and doesn't fall apart, shouldn't be too much of an issue. So just wanted to showcase that. But overall, the controller does feel decent quality to me. But comparing it to an original PC Engine controller, this feels fine. The D-pad feels pretty good. The sliders, you don't really have to worry about the sliders as long as they function as turbo, it's fine. But with this new version from Hyperkin, I did notice the 1 and 2 buttons are fairly mushy. And that's because of that membrane that they use on the inside of the controller. They don't use the best membranes. The D-pad one is fine. Or at least it appears to be. The select and run's just standard, so can't really complain about that. But let's go ahead and plug this thing in. Set this aside. So as you see, standard TurboGrafx plug is pretty fat. PC Engine, it's a little boy. They had to make everything bigger for the North American market, right? Don't know why they couldn't have just standardized the controller ports, but that's okay. We do get this adapter, so let's plug her in. Fits just like an original PC Engine controller, so it's can't really complain on that front. But let's go ahead and jump into a game here. Make sure all the buttons function fine. And then we'll also check the turbo functionality as well. Yeah, the buttons are mushy but serviceable. So there's that. You just got 2 buttons. It would have been a little more interesting if they would have released a version of like the Avenue Pad 6, the 6-button controller, but I get it. For the most part, nobody's using that controller other than to play like Street Fighter 2. I'm not sure if there's any other games that utilize it fully. I know there's a few that will use like 3 buttons, and the Avenue Pad 6 does come in handy for that as well. I think it would have been nice to have that instead, just to be able to have some options here. But there's that. Buttons are functioning just fine, but like I said, it feels a little more mushy. The D-pad, not too bad. Can't really complain. But there's that. But for the price point, man, $30 I think is way too much for this controller. If it was $20, I could see with what I'm working with here being a fair price, but $30, my God, you could find PC Engine controllers for less than that. TurboGrafx controllers, like I said, they can be a little pricier. You just have to look, especially on eBay. Some people think they're worth a ton. Some people are quite a bit more reasonable. But there's that. It functions in the game. Let's go ahead and test something else out. Let's test out AirZonk. So I wanted to test the turbo sliders in this game, but the game doesn't really function well with them, so we'll test it in another game. But the controller functions just fine in the game AirZonk, so most games it should be fine. The buttons are a little mushy, but that's my major complaint as far as the way the controller feels. So this kind of demonstrates turbo function a little better. Just holding the button with no turbo on, you get, a little shot. Put it to middle. Gets a little faster. Put it to the top. You're hitting it a little quicker. So the turbo functions just fine. Can't complain about that. But the next thing we should test is using the turbo tap to be able to play like Bomberman, right? Let's plug this in. There's that. It may register a button press when I plug this in. I hope it doesn't, but yeah, it does. We'll plug in the original controller as well. Get in there. Okay, Bomberman. Well, the controller's functioning while it's plugged into the turbo tap thingy, so that's a good thing. If it didn't work, that would be a problem. Two players. Pad 1 and Pad 2, both are mans. Okay. First player controller is functioning. Let's check out the second player. Oh, crap. Well, second player controller works as well, so can't really complain. It functions with the turbo tap to be able to play multiplayer games. I still prefer the feel of this. It just feels a bit more quality. Not to say this doesn't have a quality feel to it, but those buttons being a little mushier than what I'm accustomed to. Crap. Killed myself again. The buttons being a little mushy, it is what it is, but I would rather just buy another one of these. I've seen these on eBay today for around the $20 mark with shipping. But hey, for some people, this might be a good deal, especially with the long ass cable, because for original controllers, you can get extensions. So maybe the price point of this will be justified for some people. I just still think it's a little too expensive. But with that 10-foot cable, the adapter to be able to use it on TurboGrafx-16 or PC Engine, that might make it worth it for some people, because especially PC Engine controllers, very short cable. You have to be pretty much right up on the console to use it. So that's a good thing with this. Do I recommend it? For the $30 price point, for me, I probably won't use it. I did buy this off of Amazon for that $30, and I don't regret it necessarily, but I just don't really see myself using it over this or the Avenue Pad 6. So there you guys go. Let me know what you think. Hyperkin's hit and miss. Some of their controllers are damn fine in my opinion. Some leave a little bit to desired. This kind of in the middle for me, mainly due to the price point. But it works. It functions for me. I've heard of other people getting this controller and having a ton of issues with it. So it just seems odd with their quality control at times. For me, it worked out for, you know, this time anyway. So, hey, really do appreciate you guys. With that said, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom. Bye.